Hi, my name is Terry from Sweet Pea Papers in the Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group, and this is video 10 in our series, Journal for a Gentleman, and we are almost done, and all we have left to do is to put our sections in our cover and to paper the cover and then add any ephemera that we want to add. Now, I'll be adding ephemera to the cover off camera, and then you'll be able to see it in video 11. I have glue all over me. Video 11, which is going to be our flip through. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is take a look. These are our sections that we've completed so far. Oops. See if we can get them all on camera. No. Okay, so here's our first section, which is actually our third, because I had the cover upside down when I labeled everything, which is always handy. And then this is our second one, no matter which way we go. And then this is the first one that we did. And then both of them have the CD cover on the top so that they match. And so that's the inside. Now, I think it'll be easier for us if we do the outside cover before we put these in. I've also got two placeholder pieces of paper for covers for small signatures. Now, the mistake that I made, and I'm not sure if I mentioned this in the last video, but I think I did, is these two cords for the journal should have been over here, and it probably should have only been one, because these are so thick. Otherwise I could have just, or I could have just made this thinner. That you're really probably not going to be able to get a journal in there. But we're going to put the covers in anyway. And, oh, I need to make it smaller than that. Okay. Anyway, what was I going to say? Just to show you where the journals would go. Okay, so we've got that. So let's set our three sections to the side. And they're going to cover this up. We don't need to paper this at all. Okay, so let's set these to the side. Let me set them to the side. I couldn't find anywhere to set them. Okay, and then let's flip this over and we'll do the cover. Now, I went ahead and labeled them because they're obviously going to be in backwards order. This is going to be the cover, this is going to be the back, and this is going to be the inside cover. Now, it looks like you didn't do a very good job pushing that paper in right there. Or here either. Of course, you're not going to lay it out completely flat like this anyway. But that's the disadvantage of using paper. You can see right here it looks fine when it's bent, but when it's out flat, it doesn't. Okay? So it looks like there might have been a glue issue in that little gutter area, because this one is perfect. This one's fine. This one's just got a little spot. So you can see, remember when I told you to put a ton of glue? I did, and this is completely solid, which is usually what gives you trouble. But it looks like I didn't get enough glue down in this part on this cover. So we'll just hope that it never gets folded out flat again. So I've picked out these papers for the cover. I'm going to use this collage page for the front cover. So that's going to go here. This is going to go on cover number 2, which is the inside flap. And then this is going to go on the back. And it goes this way. So that's going to go there. Okay, so let's do the cover and I definitely want to get them in on there. So I'm going to slide it over this way, and the first thing I need to do is to cut it to 8 inches tall. So let's go ahead and do that first. And I'm going to cut it off of the top. That way I didn't cut any of the typewriter off. So now we've got this, and then this should also be 8 inches wide. Should be. So it looks like about right in here. So let's cut it 8 inches wide. And that should fit. So that's going to look nice for our cover. And then I've got that little ink bottle and a couple other things, and I'll put them down here for our ephemera on the cover. So let's go ahead and ink this. Remember, we're not super inking them. We're just inking them along the edges. I mean, lightly, just to get rid of the white and have just a sliver of black along the edge. So this will end up being an 8 by 8. The second cover is 7 1/4 by 8. And then the back is 8 by 8. Okay, let's glue this on. Okay, let's try that again. Let's glue this on. Waiting for the air bubbles. Remember, when you glue this down, it will smush that glue out flat, and it will make a good seal. Now, you can go ahead and glue the whole thing if you like. I don't foresee it bubbling up in the center. There's no real reason for it to. Okay, now remember, our top is here. And it's easier to do it laying out flat, because you can see where the seam is as well. Okay. Let's do the back cover. Okay. And we want this to go this way. Oh, this is different than this one. No, it's not. One's that greenish gray. Well, we won't see them together. Make me crazy. No, they're actually different pictures. That's okay. So we just want to make this an 8 by 8 as well. So we're just going to cut a 1/2 inch off here and 3 inches off the top to make it an 8 by 8. Now, if I wanted to, see, I should have covered this first before we put the holes or whatever in, but I still could cover this if I wanted to. But I'm thinking if one's going to be black, I think I'd like the other to be black as well. I don't think I want to do one and not the other. But if I wanted to cover, if I'd already covered this, then I could have used this scrap to cover this. Actually, I couldn't because the image goes this way. So let's double check this against the back. Okay, and let's mark the top on this one. Okay, let's ink it. Even though it's black, we want to get rid of the white edges. And you can see it a little bit against this light gray. I think the flip through is probably going to be longer than this video. I don't know. You never know. You can definitely see it along this side. Okay. And we want to glue this. So I think this turned out really nice. I'm really happy with how it turned out. As long as the inside goes in as easily as it covers. And I'll probably put something down here. Got a large typewriter. I might put that on the back. I don't know, it's dark. It kind of blends in. I don't know. I'll have to look. I've got quite a bit of ephemera left. And then we've got this last cover, which is going to be this. So from this top corner, I want it to be 7 1/4 inches wide and 8 inches tall. So I want this to be 7 1/4, and I want to save this. So I'm going to turn it around this way on my trimmer. We'll make it 7 1/4. And then we're going to make it 8 inches tall. Remember, I want to save these guys, so I'm going to cut it off the bottom. I don't know why I'm showing you. It's not like you don't know how to cut paper. Anyway, I'm going to put that on there. I like this image. I could have just as easily used this for the front image and just put something here, or a couple something, some of those images, the photos. That would have been kind of a good idea too. There was some weird white spot there. Could have been in the picture. Okay. And I also could have made the front and the back cover match. It's all on, you know, what you like. It's your book. Well, unless you're making it on consignment, then you need to do what the buyer wants you to do. I've done a book that way. One of the few books that I've actually sold. It was a bee book. And so now I have bee stencils. Or honeycomb stencils. All that jazz. Okay, let's make sure we're doing top to top. There's a little bit of glue right here. And this paper's pretty good at, you just rub it and it comes right up. A little carried away with the glue on this one. Okay, so we got that done. So now all we have to do is put our sections in. So this is our first section, which goes over here. So let's put glue on this. I did go ahead and put the ribbons on, I forgot to tell you. And I didn't make a bow, I just overlapped them and put a Velcro dot. Now this one I put 2 Velcro dots and I overlapped it by this much. On the one with the envelope stack, I had a problem with the ribbon. It unraveled, and so I had to make it shorter, and it did it again and again. So I ended up with barely enough to cover it, and that was the one that the ribbon goes not just like this. I couldn't just cut it off and put a new longer one on. It was a big mess. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to fix it. I was very upset. And it is barely fixed. Barely. So my upstairs neighbor did not move. I thought he had moved. I really did. So someone else must have moved because there were people here carrying boxes out like a moving company. Unless it was the last bit of George's stuff. But I heard him working up there. So I don't know. Okay, we want to make sure that it lines up. I'm going to stand up here for a second. That it lines up. With the top edge of this paper and the bottom edge of this paper. This one's a little teeny bit rounded, so we're going to make sure that we get the edges to stay down. Doesn't look like we're going to be able to put book corners on. That's too bad. We would have had to make the cover a little bit bigger to do that. And then it wouldn't have looked right with our sections. Okay, so let's get section 2. Which is our great big envelope stack. This is the one where I had trouble with the ribbon. And if you remember, it hooks up underneath here. And we'd already papered it, so there was no way to get at the ribbon to replace it. So I did go through and put cards and ephemera on everything. Or in everything. So there's a card here now. There's the big typewriter. And I added some ephemera there to kind of cover up the fact that the whole envelope's a little crooked. So I put the ephemera on just a little bit crooked to kind of offset the envelope being crooked. I don't know if it worked or not, but that's what I did. So let's glue this one. This one's super heavy. I hate waiting for that second air bubble. Glad I took that envelope off and went this way with the envelope stack. You know, made the narrower, the 6-inch wide in the center so that we could do the envelope stack. I think that turned out really cool. You'll like the inside with all the cards and the ephemera and stuff when you see it on the flip through. Well, this has ribbon written on it. We put it here instead. Okay. Now all we have left to do is put this big expandable envelope on. Well, we need to put the pretend covers on as well. For our non-existent journal. But because I got carried away with the envelope stack and put those extra 3 envelopes on there, it won't fit. I don't have any coffee dyed paper left, or I could put a couple pieces in there. If you're going to make a journal, then I also would make a writing board. And I would make it so that the writing board is what fit in this big pocket. Cool idea. Feel free to use it. If I thought about it, I probably would have done it. But anyway, I didn't have any coffee dyed paper. And since this is going to go nowhere but my shelf, isn't that sad? I'm not going to use up my coffee dyed paper, just, you know, for an example. Well, this looks pretty darn cool, if I say so myself. So I'll put something in this pocket, and this pocket to finish everything off. And then, oh, in this pocket too, to finish everything off. Most of this I thought looked better without the cards in it because we did such a cool job of papering it. But yeah, I liked it better that way. But, you know, you have to put the cards and stuff in. I mean, you don't have to, but you should. You're supposed to. That's what really made this stick out. Anyway, so this is what we've got, and we'll do the whole thing through with the flip through. Now you could also make a pen holder and put it right here. Oh, we were going to do this, but I need to make it even shorter because of the eyelets. So it's got to be shorter than the 8 inches. So it's got to be, push it up, got to be about this tall. I'm going to fold this in half over here on paper trimmer. Ran out of room. I used some of the leftover paper, which I have a lot, because I decided I didn't want to use the two-sided paper. I don't know if you remember that in one of the videos. I was going to print out the ones to glue them down and not waste, yeah. So see, that would have gone there. Because see, if this had been 8.5, then I would have just folded some paper in half and put it in here. And then once I'd done the flip through, I could take it out and it would just be paper folded in half. But I had to cut it way down. And then that would make the paper, you know, not usable for anything in general except for something this tall. So you just slide your paper underneath and pull it, and that way you can take your papers out as well once you've written on them or drawn on them or whatever you're going to do, or take them out to write or draw on them, because, you know, I don't really think you'd be able to, well, you could if it was on this side, I guess. So if you only wrote on this side of the paper. Anyway, so that's that. That's where our 2 journals would be. And the book closes like this. Then like this. That's our cover. Then you open it up and we've got that. Then we've got this. Uh-oh. We're having a Velcro failure. Oh, I know why. because of these. I felt it tug on something. I know you can't see what I'm doing, but so I may take these out, actually. I don't know. Let's see. Do it that way. Okay, so it's going to go like that. It's so heavy it doesn't really want to sit together. Can't put them this way. Oh, sure I can. Okay, that'll work. Of course, you wouldn't normally do it that way, because if you look at it from here, you can see what that would do to a journal. But these are just the covers, and I put them in the wrong place. Like I said, I should have put them up here. And so that's why we have that problem. We could put one on top and one on the bottom. That works. That works as well. Okay. Okay, well, that's it for this series, except for the flip through, which is going to be video 11. And so I will see you in the next video, and that will be just a second for you and a day for me. Okay, bye-bye.